Good morning. Today is Sunday, February 16th, 2025. And this is a weekly Bitcoin price forecast. So, looking at where price went in the past week and where it could potentially go in the future. So, this is, I think, week 96. We've been talking for a minute, y'all. Almost a week 100. I think 104 is 2 years. So, in about 8 weeks. So, what is that? Mid April, we'll be at 100, 2 years pretty much. So, it's kind of cool seeing where it's come from. I started talking in April of 2023, and really price has gone sideways for long periods of time. And I mean, this was a brutal period. This was brutal. I remember being here. I mean, even this right now, this isn't the greatest. Like this stall period as we wait for things to move. But the thing is that I do know is it's all going up. And the thing is, as it goes on, stuff gets faster. So I really think we're going to see some amazing things in the future here as we continue to go on. But kind of look at where we're at. Like I said, we're in a range right now. We have been in a range since November, really. We got to the top here very quickly after Election Day. So the beginning of November was very fast. And then it just kind of got to a peak here around 100K. We breached it. And then actually, it was early December where we breached it. But we got really close here. And then it's been ranging ever since. So about almost 4 months at this point as we continue to go on. So I think this is mid-November that we got up here that has been ranging. So yeah, it's been exactly like 3 months to the day. So yeah, I can tell you that it's not fun. It's not the funnest for sure. There are other things that you could be doing, but hey, you got to hold on. That's the thing. You got to hold on with Bitcoin, and it keeps going. All things with your other crypto stuff too, but these are the boring periods. But then you see it all moves very fast, and it moves very fast. It doesn't wait. It's not like, oh well, I have time. This is the getting ready period. You're getting ready right here, and then it did the same thing here, but it did for longer here from September. I'm sorry, what was that? July to September the following year, nothing, and then everything all at once. So it's like, yeah, you just got to be ready for these periods. And I'm telling you right now, people see, oh, it's gone up so much. We're not getting, we're not. We have more to go, more room to go for sure. Um, that's a little bit longer than I normally spend on the charts, but I guess on the monthly chart. But this is a weekly chart. Let's turn on the drawings. Um, we're in a couple trends here. We are in a couple trends. So again, you had your uptrend here, and then the slope changed, and then you had your uptrend, and then you see here, all right, well the slope's changing again, and this is like the hallmark of a parabola. Is like you have this constantly changing slope, even though it happens over a long period of time. You have this constantly changing slope. And you see it's come over to the other side, and now we hit the bottom side of this area right here. We'll zoom in, and I'll show you why it's compressing right now. And once something compresses, it explodes very quickly. So we'll see pretty soon here. Tomorrow's a holiday, President's Day in the States here. So I don't know if there probably won't be much activity, but this week could be exciting. It could be exciting for sure. I mean, we're past things like the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day and all that other type of stuff. So really, there's no thing that people are looking forward to over the next couple of weeks. I think really until Easter almost, but yeah, no, we should have a good run here. I would think so. Again, we're kind of at the range here. And what I looked at here, we're going to look at this a little bit later too, is this 92,000 that I said is so strong. What really happened, the reason that it's so strong is this is what we call the short-term realized price. So this is like the price where in the short term, and I'm going to have to look at and see what the definition of short term is in terms of days and whatnot. But this is where a lot of people are moving Bitcoin. So like a lot of people are moving Bitcoin around an average of about 92,000. So there's a lot of activity here. So this is a short-term realized price. And then like again, it's been bouncing here. It can't break that. This is a very strong area. And like we'll talk about the long-term realized price too. I'll put it on this chart, but again, I think it's low enough to where yeah, we'll see. But anyway, price compressing here. You got this area needs to break above here. It needs to break above 113. And then again, it needs to break above about 135. Once that's happened, it's off to the races. But again, you see it comes over to the end and bounces off. And, kind of so on and so forth. But we'll see how that looks. Daily chart. Again, bouncing up and down, and then you kind of you have a couple things. So you have this 100 moving average right here. You have the upside here. You have this chart. So this is in an area where it's really just going to stay here for a while. I'm not super worried about it breaking. Just this is a matter of patience. And then even if you break right here, even if you break the short-term realized price, which has not been proven that it's able to do, you still got to contend with this right here. So it's not going lower than about 88,000. That's just not realistic in my mind. Unless something like drastic happens. But then at that point, if it's that drastic for it to get that low and stay that low, well, I think we have bigger problems at that point. And we may need to be worried about some other stuff. So let's see what happened this week. Oh my God, what is this? Okay. This is a boring week. No, I mean if we seriously look at it, this is Sunday after the Super Bowl, right? It shot up on Monday. Oh yeah, this is great. And then it did nothing. It did nothing for the entire week. It moved a span of $3,000 up and down, a little $3,000 range the entire week, which I guess isn't bad. You can make some money off of that if you're a day trader. But yeah, overall, this is a boring week. But some excitement on the horizon. Let's look at the news. There's absolutely nothing coming up. Again, I said after the Super Bowl, there's not really too much, and even politically and economically, it doesn't look like there's too much. So, President's Day right here, like I said on Monday, nothing. Flash claims. These are all unimportant news events. Unimportant. Let's see what the next important one is. It's probably non-farm payroll. Yep, non-farm payroll, March 7th. So everything else in my mind is unimportant until then, and even that is marginally important. So I guess in terms of Bitcoin and what we're looking at. So again, the United States does not own it. So the economics of the United States does not dictate the price of Bitcoin. That's something you always got to remember. So again, let me go back here for a second. I said this is the short-term realized price. Let's look at what that means. So Bitcoin short-term holder realized price. Let's go to the definition real quick. What is this chart showing? Short-term holder realized price is a metric that represents the average acquisition price for Bitcoin investors who are considered short-term holders, typically defined as the movement of coins that have been held for less than 155 days. So the hold period is less than 155 days. That's about 5 months. Kind of the 5-month moving average almost for Bitcoin holders. And the thing is, let's look at this line. It generally, and not always, it generally doesn't tend to break below this line unless you're in the bear market, right? And then it'll break above this line again, and then it'll just ride it all the way to the bull market, and so on and so forth. What I see right here is that we kind of have this flat period here, and I'm going to zoom in. You have this flat period here, and you see how on these bull markets it just bounces off of this line, and then it bounces off of this line. What I'm saying is we're still kind of in this period. You see, this is flat. All of this is flat. So it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up, and then it's going to go off. And then you get this period. So when I say we're going to go well past 100,000, I do mean we're going to go well past 100,000. Look at it. It did it right here. It went down and then went up. You see this area, and then it just took off. We haven't had the takeoff period yet. It's still in this area. It's just wider. So it looks it's deceiving, right? So let's zoom in again. I went on tangent there. So this is 92,000. It's a very strong price because this is your short-term realized price. It won't be able to bounce. This is a bounce area. So we see once price kind of goes up there, if we zoom out, it just bounces off of this line continuously. So to me, that's really cool. Let's see what happens with the long-term holder, right? So it does it too in this area. So it comes down to the bear market, it comes down to the long-term holder price, and then it takes off again. Long-term holder price, and then it comes down to the long-term for the end of the bear market, takes off. And then it goes again, it takes off. And then, literally it comes down to the long-term holder price. So for me, this line isn't as important right now, which is 24K. But when we get into some type of bear market scenario to where things aren't pumping as much, I'll be looking at this line to see where does it stop. Maybe it stops at 100K or maybe it stops at 200, who knows? And then this is the overall realized price. So again, this differentiates it into short-term and long-term. What this does is just kind of aggregates the two. So it's just like the realized price of all people who have moved Bitcoin at any time. Well, that number is 60,000. Or no, it's like 43,000. Yeah, 43,000. I thought it was 60,000. But again, this is it kind of does the same thing. You'll see that it just kind of bounces off of this line here. And you can kind of use a combination of all of them to kind of see hey, if I'm day trading short term, I need to know where the short term realized price is. Or if I'm doing some type of swing trade, I need to know that. If I am a long-term position holder, which everyone should strive to be for Bitcoin, you want to make sure that you are looking at the long-term realized price or just the realized price overall. So it's kind of good. It's kind of cool, a thing to look at. So last thing I'll talk about, one thing that I've been talking about since about May or June of last year is GameStop. And what is their relationship to Bitcoin? So this is a tweet that came out, I guess it was Thursday of last week, a couple days ago. It said GameStop is considering investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, according to CNBC. This is the rumor mill. I cannot verify that anyone has actually said this within the company or whatnot. But once rumors start to swirling, first of all, this is not an outlandish thought. It is actually something that a lot of people have been suggesting for a long time. Is that GameStop adopt the MicroStrategy strategy to where they use Bitcoin and adopt some of it onto their books. It's not outlandish. We have states, we have countries, we have all these different corporations who are now doing this. It makes sense specifically for GameStop. Again, I am super long two things. I'm long GameStop. I'm long Bitcoin. I'm also long gold too. Between those three, and Solana, for sure. I have some dark horses, but I'm not going to talk about those right now. But yeah, all things GameStop related, I am long there. I think it's a fantastic company. I think they're going to do fantastic things over the next couple months, definitely in 2025. But in the coming months, I think they're going to do something miraculous for sure, something that people will pay attention to and talk about for quite some time. So I like to draw the dots and connect the dots. This picture was posted by Ryan Cohen. He is the CEO of GameStop. And this man is Michael Saylor. He is one of the biggest names in Bitcoin. I think he just got his picture on the front page of Time Magazine or something. One of the major publications. He got his name on. I'll have to look it up in a second. But yeah, they took a picture. This is at Mar-a-Lago in the Trump residence, pretty much. So they took a picture together. This is symbolic. Like they've never been photographed together, really. But him taking this and then posting it. He's doing big deals. Like they're doing deals and they're sharing strategies for sure. I'm just excited to see where this goes. I have good faith in GameStop. I know it's going to do well. And this is my little rant on GameStop, but this is really about Bitcoin. So, I'm thinking that they really do end up adopting Bitcoin to the balance sheet because to me that is game over. And their stock will grow exponentially for sure. So yeah, other than that, this has been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out your crypto-based resources at christalkscrypto.com, and I will see y'all on the moon. Take care. Bye-bye.